Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Days of Halloween. And as today is Friday the 13th, we are going to look at why Friday the 13th is deemed bad luck. Like walking under a ladder, crossing paths with a black cat, breaking a mirror, or putting up an umbrella indoors, many people believe that Friday the 13th brings bad luck. Negative superstitions have swirled around the number 13 for centuries. Western cultures have historically associated the number 12 with completeness. There are 12 days of Christmas, 12 months and zodiac signs, 12 labours of Hercules, 12 gods of Olympus, and 12 tribes of Israel, just to name a few examples. Its successor, 13, has a long history as a sign of bad luck. The ancient code of Hammurabi, I may be pronouncing that wrong, the earliest and most complete written legal code, was proclaimed by the Babylonian king who reigned from 1792 to 1750 BC. The Code of Laws is a collection of 282 rules, but it is believed that there is no Rule 13. Though this was probably just an error, superstitious people sometimes point to this as proof of 13's long-standing negative associations. The fear of the number 13 is called triskaidekaphobia. But why Friday the 13th? There were 13 guests that attended the Last Supper held on Thursday, including Jesus and his 12 apostles. One of whom, Judas, betrayed him. The next day, of course, was Friday, the day of Jesus' crucifixion. The seating arrangement at the Last Supper is believed to have given rise to the long-standing Christian superstition that having 13 guests at a table was a bad omen, specifically that it was courting death. Friday's negative associations are slightly weaker, though some have suggested they also have roots in Christian tradition. Jesus was crucified on a Friday. Friday is also said to be the day Eve gave Adam the apple from the tree of knowledge, as well as the day that Cain killed his brother Abel. The fear of Friday the 13th is so prevalent that it is estimated that approximately 17 to 21 million Americans suffer from triskaidekaphobia. That's one name for it. There's also paraskevidekatriophobia. Look at me. So, yeah, there's two words for the fear of Friday the 13th. That's how big it is. An important milestone in the history of the Friday the 13th, the legend in particular, not just the number 13, occurred in 1907 when the publication of the novel Friday the 13th was written by Thomas William Lawson. The book told the story of a New York City stockbroker who plays on superstitions about the date to create chaos on Wall Street and make a killing in the market. And of course, then we have the horror movie Friday the 13th, released in 1980. It introduced us to the world of the hockey mask-wearing killer named Jason, and is perhaps the best known example of the famous superstition in pop culture history. The movie spawned multiple sequels, as well as comic books, novellas, video games, and related merchandise, and countless terrifying Halloween costumes. So what bad things have happened on Friday the 13th? On Friday, October 13th, 1307, officers of King Philip IV of France arrested hundreds of the Knights Templar, a powerful religious and military order formed in the 12th century for the defence of the Holy Land. Imprisoned on charges of various illegal behaviours, but really because the king wanted to access their financial resources. Many Templars were later executed. Some link the downfall of the Templars as the origin of the Friday the 13th superstition, but like many legends involving the Templars and the history, the truth remains murky. In more recent times, a number of traumatic events have occurred on Friday the 13th, including the German bombing of Buckingham Palace in September 1940, a cyclone that killed more than 300,000 people in Bangladesh in November 1970, the disappearance of a Chilean Air Force plane in the Andes, October 1972, the death of rapper Tupac Shakur, September 1996, and the crash of the Costa Concordia cruise ship off the coast of Italy, which killed 30 people. 13 is considered so unlucky that many airlines do not have a row 13 on their airplanes, and many high-rise buildings do not have a floor 13.